Kings, we've had a flurry of events take place involving the Baldo man, so we're going to get straight to shit. First, the Baldo shocked everyone by spending a ridiculous amount of time with his children to prove how great a parent he is. And by spending time with his children, I mean he spent 2 consecutive days seething and coping on Twitter. And thanks to Breaking Balldo Network on Twitter, we have a suite of figures to look at. He made 172 tweets in total. 24 individual posts and the remainder being replies to prude incels who do things like not get targeted by the government and not have cocaine in their home. Through further number crunching, he spent 8.5 hours a day on Twitter over the Labor Day weekend tweeting and would leave one of his children 3/4 neglected. Not that he possibly isn't neglecting them more than before at this point, but having visible figures is still nice. As for the tweets he did post, it ranged from coping about how people have misconstrued his case by not agreeing with his views on it, trying to convince everyone he's the greatest Christian alive, and dunking on a clout goblin we'll get to in a minute. As I've been asked to talk about things beyond Nick in the sector, I'll give this little section towards doing so as a trial run. Ethan Van Sciver, noted angry elderly man and occasional comics artist, attempted to have the farms go after his rival Eric July as his personal army. Possibly because Eric's ability to release comics without taking 8 years to do so infuriates Ethan as he milks Indiegogos for cash. He then tried to backtrack by saying he never asked the farms to be his personal army, despite him quite literally asking them to do so. He's essentially treated it like one of his comics, unable to commit to finishing it in its entirety. For Gunt news that doesn't involve him being zannied out of his mind, he has decided that he is going to go after DarkSydePhil.
It's the guy watching his Twitch.
Because he's apparently peaking. If it does happen, we will see if DSP's plot armor holds up once again as he's beaten everything sent to take him down. Now for the big news. Aaron Imholte, clout goblin and ex-lover of both Nick and our wife, got arrested for revenge porn. It links back to him showing Gino, fiancé of OnlyFans Thought Keanu, pictures of our wife's destroyed body. Previously mentioned Thought apparently encouraged our wife to file the charges, which she and Nick gladly did. You know, the same Nick who has maintained that you can't trust the government and police, and have both framed him for things he allegedly didn't do in spite of the evidence showing otherwise. This is yet again another Total Balldomale Victory, and the secret of the polycule remains hidden for now. Before Nick goes and gives the local news his interview to get eyes off his own arrest, he needs his time to gloat over owning Aaron and the prude incel cuckservatives.
Baldonatics. I know that I was hasty the last time I declared Total Balldomale Victory, but this one is a sure thing. We've gotten Aaron arrested. That prude incel betrayed the polycule and dared to show our wife's destroyed body to another man who is engaged to a woman with the physique of a man on 2 months of HRT in the midst of his troon out. I don't care if Gino enjoyed it. Aaron has to pay for his transgressions against me, our wife and hot wife. Even the local news took their eyes away from my alleged arrest and covered him. They all know that I'm ready and willing to give an interview that will smear his good name and bring me back into the good graces of the internet and keep the eyes of the government far away from me. I mean, he has to pay a bigger bail amount than me. It must mean getting arrested for possessing cocaine, guns, and child neglect is more receptive than showing nudes our wife sent him. Keanu has been very instrumental in making all this happen. She gladly joined me on Sean's channel at the same time to turn back the wine moms who flocked to his channel to come back to me where they rightfully belong. I can bring back Ass Wednesday, and this time April will be in on the action. And if we're lucky, Keanu will give us discount codes for her OnlyFans. I know prude incels have described it as horrifying flat and a showcase of the rats that live in her apartment. But I am strongly supportive of small businesses like the OnlyFans, of a woman who looks like she's going on 40 and wears enough makeup to be a background character in a Cirque du Soleil performance. Once I can get Kumalat, Boosh McFadden and see Goody back. We can form a sister group called the Coom Man Group and eat packaged hard-boiled eggs on stage while watching Keanu's pores die up close. As a personal aside, I cannot say I appreciate all the Mount Baldo pictures that are being done now that Aaron's mugshot is up. I want nothing to do with that man ever since he turned his back on the polycule, and I certainly don't want his face near mine. If this keeps up, I'll have to spend another weekend on Twitter fighting everyone. I don't care if the kids are back. I didn't want them anyway. Every day is Labor Day with those bastards around, always being so needy. Dad, drive me to school. Dad, I haven't eaten in 2 days. Dad, why do you keep saying I need a second mom? Just take them away and make them shut the fuck up. Everything was so much simpler when they weren't here being prude incel cuckservatives, taking up time I could be spending owning the farms and their prude incel compatriots. None of you understand how exhausting and soul-draining my life is. Everyone just get out. And not you, April. Stay in the fucking corner. It's a different April, you cunts. She's never lived here, and she didn't use my studio for her hearing, despite my studio being used for the hearing. Everyone is overanalyzing this. Now, if you'll excuse me, I'm going to go start 2 Jimmy John's franchises near Sean to remind him of how fat he is. And in case you need a reminder of what Sean is,
He's fat!